Welcome back to Cardinals 101, brought to you by the Free Library of Philadelphia. This is week 2 in our 4-week series. This week we'll be focusing on the life cycle of cardinals, all the way from when they're a teeny tiny egg to a full-grown adult. Let's get started.
Okay, so we are back with our book from last week. It's called North American Animals, Northern Cardinals, and we are reading it today with permission from Scholastic. Thank you, Scholastic. Here's where we left off last week. Males are known for their bright red color, females are light brown with red wings, tails, and crests. Northern cardinals build nests each spring. The birds gather twigs, grasses, and leaves. Then females bend them into a cup-shaped nest. So here is a female cardinal, and I can tell that it's a female because of the brown color. Here in her mouth she has a twig that she's going to take to a nest. They tuck the nest between the branches of a shrub or small tree. So obviously they don't want their nest to be found by any wild animals that might eat their babies. Females lay eggs in the nest. They sit on the eggs to keep them warm. So they're nice and cozy. Males bring the females food during this time. They also fight other males that come near the nest. Male cardinals are super territorial, which means they really want to defend their nest and defend their home. Sometimes you can even see male cardinals attacking car mirrors, like the mirrors on sides of cars. They see their reflection and they think it's another cardinal, and they're like, all right, let's go. Let's fight. I'm ready. It's very funny. Cardinal chicks. After about 2 weeks, chicks hatch. They are covered in soft gray feathers. Mothers and their babies blend in with the nest. This keeps them hidden from predators like hungry snakes and hawks. So these are chicks here, but more specifically, these are nestlings. Nestlings are baby birds that don't have any feathers. They can't see anything. They cannot walk. They cannot fly. They stay in their nest 24/7, and that's kind of the first stage after they're born. And I'll tell you more about the next stage right now. So this is not a nestling, this is a fledgling. So fledgling is the next step. That's when a bird starts to grow like actual feathers and not just fuzz. And they can't quite fly yet, but now they can walk and they can hop. And if they see, a cat coming for the nest, they can hop out of their nest and kind of scurry away, even though they can't quite fly yet. Here are baby facts. Name for babies, chicks. Number of eggs laid, 2 to 5 eggs. So each time a bird, a female cardinal, lays eggs, she'll lay between 2 to 5 eggs. And she'll do that once in the spring and then usually another time in the summer. Time spent inside egg, 11 to 13 days. So after 11 to 13 days, that's when a chick will hatch from the egg. Time spent with parents, 1 to 2 months. After that 1 to 2 months, they're all grown up, they're ready to live on their own, and then the next spring, that's when those babies will be able to lay their own eggs. So they grow up pretty fast compared to humans. Parents bring insects for babies to eat. So this one here you can see is a fledgling because of those, it still has some fuzz, but it's starting to grow feathers. Its eyes are open, and it's not even in the nest. It's just chilling on a twig. After 1 to 2 weeks, the chicks spread their wings. They're ready to fly. Ooh, another important thing is that all cardinal babies are brown, like brownish gray. Then if it's a female baby, it'll grow up and stay brown. If it's a male baby, it will slowly over time start to grow red feathers and get that beautiful red adult look to them. But when they're young, they all look the same. They're all that brownie color. Alrighty, that's the end of the book. Here is a cool thing about nonfiction books, informational books, the glossary. So if you aren't quite sure what a word in a book means, you can turn to the back to the glossary. It's basically a mini dictionary for the book. So here we have a bunch of terms that they used in the book along with definitions. Another great thing about nonfiction books is the index. And the index, it's similar to the table of contents in that it shows you a bunch of words and what pages they're on. But instead of chapter titles, it's subjects. So if you are doing research about bird eggs, you might not have to read this whole book. You could just go to the index, look for the word eggs, and then see, oh, it's on page 16 and 19. I'll turn to that page and learn about eggs. So as you get older and you do more and more research, going to the index of books is going to be really helpful for you to do your research a little bit quicker. Something the book did not go over, but that I think is super cool, is the courting process for cardinals. I did not take this video. This is by Harold Micaleer on YouTube. Courting is a process by which you get to know someone that you're interested in dating. What cardinals will do is they'll kind of size each other up, look at each other, and then the male will take tiny little seeds and feed them to the female. So in this video you can see he's kind of looking at her, she's kind of looking back, and then, do you see that? It looks like they're kissing almost. It's a really cool thing that cardinals will do before they decide to lay eggs together. It's pretty hard to find nests and eggs out in nature because A, birds hide their nests so well, and B, I don't really want to disturb them or get attacked by the grown-up birds. So I don't have any videos that I took of that. However, if you would like to see birds hatching, you can take your grown-up, your parent, whoever, go to YouTube and type in cardinal hatching. Be prepared, cardinals look like weird little aliens when they're born. Just a heads up. Even though I don't have any nest or egg videos for you this week, I do have some random nature videos to show you. And I also drew this cool little cardinal wearing a backpack, since I heard you guys like my drawings. Yeah!
If you recall my video from last week, I found 2 cardinals in this bamboo area. So I'm back here again to see if I can see any more. I hear a cardinal, but there are so many birds talking right now. I don't see it, and I don't know if you can hear it. Bamboo update. I have been sitting here for 20 minutes and I have seen a few robins go in and out, but none of the you-know-who's. I've given up on birds, and this video will now be about clouds. I think this cloud kind of looks like a person wearing a mask. Do you see that? Another thing I noticed, in addition to all the clouds, is that in one patch of lawn, there's like actually so many different plants. Like there's this really long, typical grass. This is clover here. And then I don't know what these are. Kind of like heart-shaped leaves. And then like, look at these tiny little flowers. They're like little miniature roses. And then like this thing, what are these things? So you're like, oh, it's a lawn, but there's actually like so much going on. These little purple flowers are called violets, and I have friends who go out and forage for these. They go out and look for these and collect them and take them home and make tea out of them. Obviously you need to wash them first, and if a person uses pesticides in their lawn, like lawn chemicals, then it's not as good to eat. I think that's a cardinal. Maybe. Perhaps. Oh! There you go. Ooh, another cool thing is this is ivy. It's not poison ivy, it's just normal ivy. And it grows on sides of buildings, as I'm sure you've seen. And look at the roots. It's like it's got little fingers, like latching onto the brick. Like, what? Isn't that wild? Like, it's got these weird little fingers. They're not actually fingers, they're roots. That's like, ooh, that's creepy.
This week's activity that you can do at home is this sweet bingo I made. So we've got some animals on here, some plants, some other naturey things like rain and rainbows. So see how many of these you can spot from inside your house just by looking out the window. Then go to your porch or your backyard, somewhere you can be safe outside, and see how many you can see from there. Thanks for watching. Check back next Thursday, May 7th on the Oak Lane Library Facebook page for the Week 3 video. See you then!